All right, so let me tell you a little bit about my philosophy of teaching, and it sounds technical, you know, uh, but it's really about how I grade, how uh, I support students so that they can be successful in my classes. And so typically, theories is you learn a theory, you take a test on the theory, you know, and they're usually like multiple choice tests. But, you know, memorizing a theory and practicing a theory are two very different things. Um, and so I took a theories class, both an undergrad and my master's, and they were good. They provided the information, but I really didn't know how to apply the theories until I got into practicum and kind of learned how to practice basically. So, one of the things we do in this class is um, we do have to take exams, but they're not multiple choice or anything like that. We just apply each of the theories to a case study, and it's always the same case study. And so I think applying a theory helps you to better understand how to use that theory rather than just memorizing the terms. They're all open book. And my philosophy of teaching is called mastery learning. And that means I I wish there weren't any grades in classes because in my mind you either know what you need to know or you don't. You know, you're either ready to move on or you're not. Um, and I one time for years I was on a committee for middle states for the university, and the job was to collect all of the statistics from every department on the university. And I'm sure everybody hated me because I would get a report and it would say, our department is successful in our teaching. 70% of our students passed, whatever competency exam they had in whatever field. And I would always write, they're like patting themselves on the back. And I'm like, what are you going to do about 30% of your students that didn't? I mean, that's pitiful. But, I'm like, in my mind, you know, you're not very good teachers unless you've got like almost like 100% passing. So, so in this class, the goal is for me to help you to become successful and to learn not only the information, but how to apply the information. If I was going to a surgeon for knee surgery, I wouldn't want a surgeon that got a B, you know? I mean, come on. So we are also dealing with real human lives. And even though it's not like physical surgery, you know, our profession is pretty important to people, and we can change people's lives. So uh, the goal is for you to learn the information that you need to move on. And in order to do that, uh, if you take an exam and apply a theory to a case and you miss a few things, you get to rewrite it. Um, so don't consider that failure, nobody's ever failed this class unless they just didn't turn in the work or rewrite the work. So you can rewrite it as many times as you need to. Obviously, it's nicer if you don't have to rewrite it that many times, but the option is there. Um, so in students' minds, oh, I can rewrite it until I get an A. I honestly don't care about a grade. And my goal is for everybody to get an A. But that is not a typical mindset, So um, yeah, that's kind of the philosophy. The only things you can't rewrite due to time are are the final things that you hand in the last day of class, and that's just because there's no time left. So I think the last day of class, you just hand in a final paper. But the paper's about you. So you should do okay on it, if you put in the time. Uh, can't really say you don't like a certain theory or, your characteristics, only you know them. So you should do okay with that. Um, all that being said, yeah, you get to rewrite things as many times as you need to. But, these are definitely graduate level assignments. They take time. So you can't write these essay exams the night before. It's impossible. Each question will take a couple hours to complete. If you have three theories on one of the exams, I'd recommend maybe picking 3 evenings, one evening for one theory, one evening for another theory. That way you're not like getting the theories mixed up in your mind. So you got to put in some time um, in order to be successful, as in anything in life. Uh, let's see. I know some of you have had an entire degree in psychology in undergrad. Others came from a completely different field, like uh, communications or, business or something else. And eventually you were drawn to this field. So I am going to start from with the basics on each theory. And that might be a little repetitious for some of you who have had a similar course before. But hopefully, I'll start from the basics, but I'll also take it to a deeper level. So it all won't be repetitious for you. Hopefully, you'll at least hear some good stories about these theorists, if nothing else. Um, so let's see what else. That's my philosophy of teaching. Um, I guess the one thing I wish we had time for, I mean, we have to cover a lot of theories in this class, and we couldn't add another class because we've already got 60 credits, and that's what's required. We're barely fitting in everything that's required for accreditation. We didn't want to add any more classes. But what I wish we could do, rather than just applying these theories to a case study and writing, I wish we could actually practice them in class. That would be really cool. But that would almost take 2 semesters. So I guess that's the only thing that's kind of missing in my mind is the actual real life practicing of the theories. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's go over the syllabus.